Happy Saturday.
Happy Saturday. Back on location in the kitchen.
Yay.
So, really excited
I'm glad.
for another episode. Summer is ending though, and this is...
So we're going to have Americanos to celebrate or try it out too.
Americanos. That's how you celebrate the end of summer.
You need coffee to buy all the school supplies and be able to help your kids through all the stresses of going back to school.
A lot of back to school stress.
There's excitement and lots of nervousness, even though they love school, but it's challenging.
Yes, Americanos. Coffee, what are we using today?
We're using the end of the Skudax.
End of the Skudax. So
good.
two Skudak episodes.
We're gonna have to go back to New Hampshire and buy
Yeah.
that. So you can use any coffee bean. I prefer good ones, but if you grind,
Yes, we prefer the terrible coffee beans. If you have those, make sure you bring them.
but if you grind it in your grinder, just grind it very fine, and then you can make espresso in your mocha pot.
Back to the
Remembered?
mocha pot.
Yeah.
Yep.
Great thing. And then Americanos is just espresso with boiling hot water.
Great.
And
And we're
so-
going to put some cream in it
Yep.
because
Life is better with
America. Americano.
You sound like our sons.
Thanks.
Is it?
That looks great.
Okay.
Yeah, it's perfect.
I need more.
She knows exactly how I take my coffee.
No, actually, this is our entire marriage. I don't even know his favorite color.
We
I'm
would,
not kidding.
We wouldn't do well in one of those marriage things. We talked about that when the Biscuits were here. Like, we don't really... I know a lot about Megan, and she knows a lot about me, but she's not sure sometimes
I
because of
don't
the
know
way
his
that I am.
favorite meal. I don't know his favorite color, his favorite song,
Cheers.
his favorite coffee, how he likes his coffee.
Cod, my favorite cod.
But I still
I only
love
like
him.
one cod. There's only one kind of cod that I like. No? Did you say my favorite cod?
No, color.
Oh, color.
Yeah, color. It might be green, but I'm not sure. But he tends to paint all of his offices green, so
Segue.
there's a chance. Green?
No. Dates. Date night. My favorite meal, and I can be honest. I'll tell the world, all 32 of you that watch.
This is new for me.
No.
Oh.
Well, you might know if it's my favorite meal afterwards. But when I went over to give Megan guitar lessons, long time ago, she still can't play guitar. It's not that I'm not a good teacher.
You're a little
I might not be a great teacher. That's okay. I went there and she had made this chicken dish. I love the chicken dish. It was chicken. I think there were tomatoes in it. It was like cream of something, maybe mushroom soup, cream mushroom,
Yeah, a cream chicken mixture.
cream of something soup, and it was over rice.
And broccoli and cheese.
And it was broccoli and cheese. Yeah, it was.
I don't even know where I came up with that.
It's fantastic. I think it was all she had in her fridge.
But I want to make you the best meal because he came back from Belize and he looked really skinny.
Yeah, I don't.
So.
I don't anymore.
I've done well. That's Proverbs. A good wife is supposed to put meat on her husband's bones. So I feel like I've helped.
And I've assisted her to be a good wife because I really know how much she wants to be a good wife. So I have done what I
my
needed
food.
to in order to make sure there's meat on my bones. But those who know me know that I eat a lot, and I always have.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's okay.
But date night, we got to go on a date last night, and it was fantastic. And like, I think the Agnews were on a date last night. I think the Kennedys were on a date last night. We don't normally post our dates because it's our dates, but I thought we'd be silly. And the things that we got out were like,
They were really nice. It was a nice restaurant.
well plated.
We had a nice birthday gift.
Thank
so
you.
we used
Thank you,
that.
Grandpa, for the
Thank you,
birthday
Grandpa.
gift, so we can go out to eat at this fancy restaurant. But it was nice, and
It was worth it.
we posted it, and then people were like, we're on date night too. So yeah, that's been great. That's
It's very important.
something we remember from Aunt Barb and Uncle Charlie. Wedding advice that I got. Two things I remember from our wedding day, or right around there. I mean, there are lots of things I remember from our wedding day.
Advice, right? And two
Advice
pieces of
that I
advice.
remember from our wedding day. Yes, as I was dealing with my flesh eating, never mind. That's a different story, another time.
Another time.
Matthew Silverberg, my best man, said to me, at some point in your wedding, make sure that you step back and together and look at that group and realize they're all there for you. Like they're all there because of your love. And I thought that was a really beautiful moment. So thank you, Matt, for that.
And we did that, and that was worth it.
We
and
did.
We try to tell any couple getting married to
Great
do
advice.
that. It really was great advice.
And then Aunt Barb and Uncle Charlie,
they're awesome.
make sure you go on a date every month. I think they said
Regularly,
regularly.
Yeah.
And we follow their dates on Facebook.
Yeah.
Aunt Barb and Uncle Charlie, they
Big Facebook followers.
yeah, we are huge followers. Every time they post something, we are on that. Aunt Barb
And they
usually
go on a weekly date.
they do.
Which is great.
And Aunt Barb has a nice big trough of wine that she's drinking. They go to all these great places. So
And they find really good restaurants
Yes.
and enjoy each other's company. And they've been married a long time.
they have,
And they look young, so it's great.
they do.
So
And we look
hopefully
young.
We'll look young when we.
The waiter joked with us and asked if we were on our first date last night. He was just looking for a tip.
Yeah.
But it's true. I mean, she looks young, you know, like it's just like when we went to Italy. Like they thought I was the Italian guy taking her around.
Taking out the American girl.
So no, it was great last night, and we just had time, and we had like an Italian dinner, like 2 and
2
something
hour,
hour dinner, and not too heavy, and a nice cheesecake at the end. It was really nice. Espresso with a lemon twist at 10 o'clock at night.
I still fell asleep. That's
Yeah,
good.
and Meg, I woke up this morning, and Meg said, "You don't look like you slept well."
But date night's so important. And just since we've been married, we have kind of a once a month date rule. And that's been really helpful this past year, just with all the transitions and brand new baby and being kind of away from a lot of people we know. We haven't had as many, but
But I think I was thinking about that after we
think we
talked
can
about
start.
it. Like we haven't gone out for date night at like a restaurant because it's expensive. But like I think last month we went to the little coffee shop that we like.
yeah, we've been trying to do. Yeah, so you can
So
do all
even
various
like
dates.
like little things, even if it's 30 minutes
not be
away
at night.
together,
We've been doing some daytime. yeah.
daytime. And we've been going for walks
Home-
at night, which is
Home
nice.
Depot runs.
Normally when we date, yeah, that's what happens. Like we've gone to bed and breakfasts and like we go there and it's beautiful and we relax. And like, what should we do now? Let's go to Home Depot. Let's go to Walmart.
We did 1 year. We went for our overnight, and we went to Walmart for. We bought the kids Christmas presents ahead of time, but it was fun to actually go shopping together. So to
I
pick
can
out the
I can
presents.
manage Walmart better with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like a. I think that should be like you know like a tagline in a movie. You know, like you complete me, things like that. Like I can manage Walmart better with you. Yeah,
Wow.
it's like from As Good as It Gets.
Maybe.
I feel better when I'm with you.
Yes.
Yeah, I can do Walmart
Better with you.
better with you. It's a little less romantic, but very real.
Very dear.
It's very. So last night we're driving home from date night. This is great.
Oh my goodness.
Um, and we were using Waze because, like sometimes around here if roads get closed, which
They did.
roads get closed
Yep.
last night,
That was surprising.
it gets us home when we need to. And so Waze has Pandora linked to it. So we were listening to a little bit of jazz as we're driving home and holding
Fitzgerald.
hands, and it was really cute and nice. And then I changed the Waze voice to Cookie Monster, right? Because
Never experienced this in my life. I am so not tech savvy.
and then Megan said, she said, you know, it'd be great if it'd be great if like Louis Armstrong came on, and then of course the next song was Louis Armstrong, and
Cookie Monster and he sounded.
they sounded the same.
You know, what was the song? What was the directions?
Take a left turn. That's how it worked.
These are our dates.
So that was what happened, because you can't take ourselves too seriously.
Yeah,
So, but it's really, you know, date night is so important and fun.
it is. Gives us a time to be married and not just parents, because marriage
Okay.
comes first, then children.
Marriage comes first and then children.
So
So we have so many cool week this week. St. Maximilian Kolbe and the Assumption.
yes,
Very cool week. So Maximilian, for those who don't know, gave his life up for a prisoner in Auschwitz for a married man. And he said, take me. It's a longer story. It's a beautiful story about self-sacrifice, about how a priest stands in the place of another person. And that man ended up getting out and being able to be with his family. And it's a beautiful story about how giving your life for somebody, that's the sense of being martyred, right? Like, so he gave his life for Christ, but he also gave his life for Christ and this other person. And Maximilian had just a wonderful, beautiful devotion to Our Lady, to Mary. And he gave his life up on the eve of the Assumption. And as Monsignor Connolly pointed out, I mean, I guess I knew that, but I didn't think about it. And Monsignor Connolly, we went to Mass for the Assumption, and said, isn't it beautiful that this man who was so devoted to Mary gave his life up on the day before we celebrate her Assumption into heaven, and then he was cremated in the concentration camp on her Assumption Day.
Right.
So, like, he gave up his body for someone else, right? And we won't be relics of him or anything because he was cremated. And then we think of Our Lady at the same time, who loved God so much and was protected in just an extraordinary way through the Immaculate Conception, that she had no sin. And she shows us like what happens at the end, because God takes Mary up, body and soul, into heaven. So no relics of Mary. Why aren't there relics of Mary? Well, there aren't relics of Mary because she got taken fully.
Her body and soul didn't have
Body
to
and soul never had to be separated, right? And in the beginning, that's what God designed. Like in the beginning, we were made body and soul united,
Right.
to never be divided. Original sin stole that from us, stole this full integration. And it was only by God coming down and taking on our flesh perfectly and fully that we can put it back together. And we see that in Mary. So we know at the end of time that our bodies and our souls are going to be united once again in heaven. So that's a really beautiful thing. We can't understand it, comprehend it, but it's beautiful. Yeah.
Good points.
Good points. Good points.
I love Mary. And one thing that has always stood out with St. Maximilian Kolbe, I love him, but one of his quotes is just never be afraid of loving the Virgin Mary too much, because you can never love her as much as Jesus did. And so I think of that often. So he's so great. There's so many other quotes, but
Yes.
that's one to think of.
That's right. We had so many things we could have done that were fun today. So we're going to have to save some for next week because it's already like 12 minutes in. So we're going to return to, it's the end of summer and sometimes you're desperate. And I get a little desperate to like do fun things.
Yes, we have a lot of fun things we have to
So
vision.
we're gonna
Painting
see
of the birdhouses.
we're gonna see how this works. So we're gonna return back to the favorite bubble sock.
He kept preparing this morning, and I
Yeah.
have no idea what he's
So
doing.
if you remember the bubble sock, this is the one that we did before. You put the sock in there, and people love the bubble sock. But I thought, like, well, I've been in an engineering mode lately. So I thought, what would be other ways you can better do the bubble sock?
I don't know.
So if you have like a kid who maybe might have some breathing problems and you don't want him to inhale bubbles, like our kid did, you can use, so this is what you use when you
He
want
was
to.
doing prep, and he was
So you
making
get
me
this thing in
nervous.
here, and then you just put this guy in here, and it should work, right? Oh yeah. So this way, the bubbles keep going, right? Really fun. Oh, there are bubbles in the room.
I'm mopping the floor.
I'm gonna, but just in case that's not enough, in my classic Tim the Tool Man moment, I thought,
Where am I going? He was hiding stuff from me. Oh my goodness gracious. Oh no.
another way you can do it is with a leaf blower. So, you just get this guy on here. Never practiced this, but we're gonna check it out from outside. Hopefully it works.
Okay. Well, this is what he's meaning. He told me how to move this camera, so we'll see how. Do-do-do. Oh dear. And the dog. Ah!
I thought that might happen. Lots of little bubbles though.
You'll have to do that for the kids later.
Happy Saturday.
Happy Saturday.
Megan will finish with the prayer inside and I'll join her.
Okay, I guess I'm moving you back, guys. All right. He is crazy, but I love him.
Back in studio.
In the name of the Father,
Dear Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, we'll pray memorare for the monks of St. Bernard, for all of those Benedictines, and for all of our families. Remember, most gracious Virgin Mary, never was it known that anyone who fled to thy protection, implored thy help, sought thine intercession, was left unaided. Inspired by this confidence, I fly unto thee, Virgin of Virgins, my Mother. To thee do I come, before thee I stand, sinful and sorrowful. O Mother of the Word incarnate, despise not my petitions, but in thy mercy hear and answer. Amen. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Are you okay?
Happy Saturday.
Happy Saturday.